My sincere apologies if you heard all my Ravens love. The one of the stars of the Sleepover on Netflix that is available for streaming right now. Kids will dig it. The adventure comedy called The Sleepover, starring Joe Manganiello. How are you, Joseph?
I'm great, Rich. How you doing?
I got all the Ravens love out of the way, unless you heard some of it. I apologize for that.
Thanks. Yeah. Just get out that broom and sweep it out of the way.
Well, let's get into it then. What do you think of the Steelers? Let's jump in.
What do I think? I think after last year's fixing of the defense.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to see what Big Ben brings back to the offensive side of the ball. I think Big Ben would have been at least 2 more wins last year. Let's put it that way. So, which puts us into the playoff hunt in a year without some of those players that caused some trouble and are no longer with the franchise.
The Killer Bees?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
The Toxic Twins.
Oh, man. I agree with you on the defense. I think TJ could join JJ and give him a run for his Defensive Player of the Year money, man. I think that you're set up, and I know you love Bud Dupree. You texted me literally when he was at the Combine that you think they should go get him, and they held on to him. Hayden on the back end, Minka Fitzpatrick, who's on tomorrow's show, and then, of course, my Wolverine right there in the middle. I think you're right. You're spot on right there.
They're solid.
Joseph.
That's the kind of defense that reminds me of the mid early 2000s. It was that kind of they could take over a game if they wanted to. They were also threats in terms of turnovers and scoring. It's a really exciting group to watch that probably wouldn't have been assembled. I don't think we would have gone as far as we did to stretch to get Minka had our backs not been to the walls with the falling apart of the offense, I guess, to injury and departure.
No, I agree with you. You want to talk about that's 2 moves that are out of character for the Steelers.
Very
was
much.
1, trading up in the first round of the draft 10 spots to go get Bush, and then 2, trading the following year's first rounder for a player.
Yeah,
for anything, and doing it right there in week 3. And at the time, I know the concern was, now Ben's out for the year. Why would you cough up a 1 when it's going to be top 5? And it wound up being in the middle of the pack because of the conversation that was Tomlin's best coaching job of his career last year.
Well, and I love that move by the organization because they weren't willing. We all thought the season's over. This is it. And the organization came out with this super strong move to say, no, it's not. We're not done. We're getting Minka. We're going to make a run at this. And I love that move. It was aggressive, and it's really set the table for what I think could be a really exciting season and one of the teams in the NFL to watch.
Well, Joe, after family and football, and you and I have never really discussed faith, but I'll throw that in there as well. There's also fitness for you, Joe. You've written books about it. We all know about your fitness. You've been on covers of fitness, so I need you to shoot me straight. Were you genuinely concerned when you saw Ben looking like a straight out of Duck Dynasty during the off season? What do you think with the beard and everything? Did you sit there and go, uh-oh, at any point in time?
Well, I called Ben when I saw the beard getting longer and longer.
Yes.
I was just coming off of shooting a film called Archenemy over this past winter, in which I grew my beard out for the role.
Okay.
So I had this huge, gigantic beard, and I hit Ben up and I said, "Listen," I said, "I just shaved it off, and my wife has kissed me more today than she did in the previous 6 months with the beard." Something to think about.
So you incentivized because you're a big fan. I totally understand. But there was never any question that you were hiding something underneath it in the same way that was supposed about Ben, Joe.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, but hey, he has shaved it off. And it does appear that he's more, like he's bounced his radio show locally, which I thought was a very smart move. Because it just led to just so much more conversation that was necessary. And it seems like he's there's no eye in Roethlisberger.
Listen, to quote Coach Tomlin, the way you get back at your critics is getting down to business. When you come back and you mean business, that's when they shut up. And that's what it's all about this year, and that's what Ben's all about. It's all about getting back down to business.
And what do you think? Let's ask the poll question of Joe. This is good.
Okay,
Joe
Joe.
Manganiello here
Okay,
again.
Joe.
We'll get to the Netflix's The Sleepover shortly, but we
You're
always have a good
familiar
time
with
right
that
now.
place in the desert, right, where all the gambling happens? You're familiar, right?
I have been there and partaken in some of the aforementioned vices. Yes.
Indeed. Good. These four teams have the same projected win total from that place: Bucks, Patriots, Steelers, Eagles. Who ultimately wins more games this year?
Wow, that's an interesting grouping.
Let's be honest here.
9.5. That's the total that Vegas thinks for these teams. Yeah.
I'd put us over 9.5. I would give us the over.
But over Eagles, Patriots, and Bucks when it's said and done.
Look, I mean, we had. Okay, so we were right on the cusp last year. Like I said, Ben would have given us 2 more last year. I'm going 11. I don't think anybody out of that grouping is going to have more wins than us.
So you're taking where do the Steelers rank in terms of the rest of society on our poll question at Rich Eisen Show, Chris?
Oh, baby. Steelers are actually second, 29%. Bucks lead the way, 35%.
But then again, Chris, you were there on the red carpet of the Academy Awards when we were just a mere podcast on NFL Network.
7 years ago.
And we reached out to Hines Ward to be the correspondent for us, to shoot for our television show, right?
Indeed.
And nobody knew that he was going to show up on the carpet of, right?
Like 2 people, you and me. That's it.
That's it. And Hines,
and
obviously.
Hines and the Academy.
And go
4.
tell Joe what you saw at the top of the stanchions of the fans who were appearing.
Joe, you've been there. So there's stands when you walk the red carpet at the Academy Awards. And up in the upper right corner was about a dozen Steelers fans decked out in black and gold with towels. And then someone said, "Oh, my God, it's Hines Ward."
They had no idea it was
started
there.
going ape. It was crazy.
They're everywhere.
They travel.
They're everywhere.
It was crazy.
That happened.
I wish I want to see the footage. You know, like that. That's
I'll find it.
So funny to me to see. You know, like Super Bowls where the Steelers aren't playing. I mean, I've been to some Super Bowls that the Steelers did not play in, and you know, my brother and I are dressed head to toe, walking around saying, "Oh, you play these? You do these without us?" You know, so I mean, we're everywhere, and it's. I love the pride of the city. I love the people. Like they just, and they have a wonderful sense of humor. That we're all kind of in on this joke that you know we're everywhere.
Well, you are everywhere too, sir. Let's talk about The Sleepover on Netflix. This fun movie for kids. You, Malin Ackerman, Ken Marino, who's amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give away too much. There's a little bit of a plot twist here, but I'll give you the floor on this streamer that's kids and families can all enjoy at once.
Oh yeah, it's a really fun kid movie. Basically, you know, suburban house mom gets kidnapped, and it leaves the kids wondering, why would anyone kidnap our mother? What is this? And there is a series of clues that the kids follow in order to try to hunt mom down. And what is revealed is that mom was actually in the witness protection program. And mom used to be an international jewel thief. And she is kidnapped by some bad people she used to work with who are going to blackmail her into doing one more job. And in order to finish this unbelievably difficult job or accomplish this, she has to enlist the help of her ex-partner, played by me, who is also her ex-fiancé, and Ken Marino, her new husband, who had no idea she had this previous life and different name, is not very happy about me hanging around and clearly still carrying some sort of flame for him, who he thinks is his wife.
And the fun ensues, and again, it's a fun movie, and like I said, there's a little plot twist I don't want to get into because I want everyone to sit back and enjoy it. Ken Marino is the best karaoke singer I've ever seen in my entire life,
That is
Joe.
a bold statement.
It's a fact.
Wow.
I imagine he must not have done that on the set if you wouldn't just jump in and do a +1.
No, but
good.
now that I know, we're gonna have a competition. Yeah, that's.
Are you a karaoke guy,
Look,
Joe? I didn't know that.
Rich, I've never not on a professional level, but you know, I mean, I have been known to rock some Air Supply. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm all out of love.
Well, you know, we know you're a good dancer. We've seen that in Magic Mike. We've seen that, Joe. let's stroll down a little bit about you that folks might not know. Okay, they certainly, if they follow your Instagram, they know, and the free world follows your Instagram, but people might not know. You're in terms of competitiveness.
Yes.
Where do you stand in Dungeons and Dragons, Joe?
Competitiveness?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's a well, no. So I run a game for any people that don't know. I run like a celebrity Dungeons and Dragons game for the past 2 years. I've run one. I used to run it at my house, and now I have to run it online.
Yes, you do.
For like A-list rock stars, showrunners.
Come on, drop names. Who's rolling the 20-sided die with you, Joe?
Okay.
Virtually.
So I've got the Big Show from WWE, 3-time WWE champion, Big Show.
Okay.
I had to get bigger chairs, clearly. D.B. Weiss and Dave Benioff.
Okay, who are the creators? So you're playing Dungeons and Dragons with the creators of Game of Thrones.
The best
Are you really?
is when I try. You talk about competitive. When I try to kill them with an undead army or an undead dragon, which has happened.
And they must have laughed. They're like, "Come on!" Or did they take notes? They're like, "This is for the sequel, if we ever do."
I've got some great pictures. Tom Morello, rock and roll god of Rage Against the Machine fame.
Yes.
An audio slave.
Okay.
Tom is very competitive, as is Tom's buddy from Chicago who plays in my game, Vince Vaughn.
Wait, what?
It's amazing.
So, my God, this is your Dungeons and Dragons group, and when you say run, you dominate. Right?
I run the game, so basically I'm the showrunner. This is my story. They're playing the characters within the story. So this is my Game of Thrones. For example, Dan and Dave and the rest of the players all play characters within my storyline.
Yes.
And so what's really fun is getting to see Dan and Dave play characters rather than run the show.
Okay, and these are you're talking about serious alpha people, very successful people.
Well, you talk about serious alpha people. So one of the other guys that plays in my game is my longtime trainer Ron Matthews, who was the CrossFit Masters champion in 2016. He was the fittest man on earth over 45 years old. He ran the 4-1.
So again, the resumes are impeccable in terms of that, and yet your wife refers to this group as who? As what?
Well, nothing. She just stays out of the basement when I go down there.
I don't know, Joe. There's the movie Revenge of the Fill in the Blank. What does she refer to you guys as?
Yeah, sure.
What did she refer to you as? Come
We're
on.
Intellectuals, Rich. We are intellectuals. Okay? All of us in our own way, breaking stereotypes. Hey, our Dungeons and Dragons group will kick your Dungeons and Dragons group's ass.
That's true.
Hey, Joe, I'm just trying. Don't shoot the messenger.
Hey, we're not passing notes in school here, okay? You want to come at the dungeon master, you best not miss, all right?
Last one for you. How's Bubbles the dog?
Bubbles is great. It's National Dog Appreciation Day.
Yes, it is.
So I love my little dog. We rescued this little dog. Rich, you and Susie, I remember you and Susie and me and Sophia, we were all out at dinner right when we got Bubbles, and we were like freaking out because we left the baby at home alone.
Yes.
Look, my wife,
Look
she's
at
looking
that
at the
dog.
monitor on her phone,
Wow.
And I love this little dog.
You were on the monitor. You were on the monitor.
Yeah.
You were on watching a baby monitor to make sure Bubbles wasn't going to get out. Because how much does Bubbles weigh, Joe?
Bubbles is 5 pounds.
Come on, Joe.
She sits on my shoulder like a parrot all day long. But I'm telling you, it's been one of the great joys of my life. And we adopted this little dog who was sick. And I guess her original owners had to surrender her because she was sick, and the medical fees were just extensive, and she needed help or she was going to die. And I saw this little thing that needed my help, and the next day I said, I'll take her. I took her to the best animal surgeon in L.A. and took care of her, and she's been the best. Like, I just love this little dog. Loves me and follows me around everywhere. We have a little Steelers cheerleader outfit that she wears on Sundays. Great.
But the Steelers don't have cheerleaders, Joe.
That's
so
right.
you're saying
she's
Bubbles?
the only one. That's right. She's not allowed on the field, but it's at home. Yeah.
Bubbles looks great, man. There she is. There's looking through the window. Did Sophia take this photograph?
She took that of me. I knocked on the window like Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
That's why it says "Here's Bubbles."
Here's
I got
Bubbles.
it now. Very good. We're putting it all together.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Bubbles is not in the D&D game, right?
So I went to Italy last year, and I met some like sculptors, and the sculptor actually made a little Bubbles figurine. So I actually have one that this guy sent me from Italy. That's pretty amazing.
So the answer's yes. Then Bubbles is part of your D&D game.
Yeah.
Bubbles the dog.
She's a vicious, like, you remember the killer rabbit in Monty Python?
Yes.
She's like that. Like there's a killer chihuahua guarding this cave, and you have to, what? Where's the monster? Behind it? Ah!
Run away!
Yeah, run away!
Run away!
Oh, Joe, I love it, man. Best to your wife, your family, best to everybody, and everyone should watch The Sleepover on Netflix. A fun film for the entire family. You take care of yourself. Let's chat soon.
Thanks, Rich. Tell Susie and the kids hi. We miss you.
We'll do it right back at you.
Yeah, man.
That's Joe Manganiello. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Joe Manganiello, everybody. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.